everyone. I'm Lauren Walker, the manager of athlete development here at USA Volleyball. And today I'm privileged to be joined by Scott Davenport. He is the head developmental coach for our Beach national team. And today we're going to be talking to coaches a little bit about how the beach game has changed over time and how they can help optimize performance for their athletes as they're training them. Thanks for joining us, Scott.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So to start us out a little bit, you've been in the sport of beach volleyball for quite some time.
Yeah.
As you've seen it progress and in your role now where you're head of development for our senior national team, what has changed over the game in recent years that coaches might need to be aware of?
When I started in the game, it's completely different. It's night and day. I mean, the highest level, they're running jump setting, option offenses, fastballs here and there, similar to like indoors. And before it was super basic, up and down passes, up and down sets, bigger court, different equipment. I mean, it's night and day. The athletes are stronger, faster on both disciplines. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you believe as a coach and how you perceive your athletes will fit best into whatever it is offensively, defensively you want to do. But the game's definitely moving to more of a fast tempo game. And I think everybody likes it. It's fun to watch. But it's more complicated. It's harder to defend.
So as you think about, if I'm a coach who's helping an athlete move up through the ranks within beach, or maybe taking a good collegiate player who shows some talent on the beach into the next level, what are some ways that I can help prepare them for that fast-paced game, or maybe something that they haven't seen from indoor volleyball to beach?
Yeah, we're kind of encountering that a little bit right now on our men's side inside of our group, because we're still hammering home fundamentals of like traditional volleyball. And then moving into that next phase, to me, would be evolving into the jump setting, the options, and defending that stuff. So we can just introduce it at practices as much as you can. But the more you see it, obviously live, the easier it is to defend. But ball control, still the fundamentals are all the same. You got to have solid ball control in order to do any of these things.
So as you think about structuring practice for your athletes as they're in this developmental space toward senior national team play, towards high-level international play, take me through how you design practice for the duos that you coach.
I like to do a progression in the beginning where it's all technical-based skill work, mindful reps versus just doing a million reps. And we try to get them to that space where they, like we said before, they understand what they're doing, they understand why they're doing it, they understand the adjustments. And we get past that phase and we get a little bit more into the system stuff, as well as revisiting the technical at least once per week. So then we build the teams and we build the systems and we get comfortable in all of that, how they run their offense, how they run their defense. And then you run into the competitive phase more. And obviously the segments change to me based on the schedule for the year and all the events. But that's how I like to build into the season. And then, yeah, from a practice structure standpoint, it accompanies the blocks.
As you're coaching, maybe when you recognize that there might be a partnership mismatch, how do you advise athletes in that particular case?
Mismatch meaning they shouldn't be playing together?
Meaning they shouldn't be playing together. They don't realize that.
Yeah. Again, it takes a little bit of time sometimes. Just the X's and O's when you watch somebody on the court together, you're like, that's not a good dynamic. It's not working. I always ask them questions. I'm not going to tell them, hey, don't play with this person or go play with this person. I was like, do you think this is working? Why not? What would be a better option, not partner-wise, but like player fit-wise? So I like to have them come to the conclusions if we see something versus me just saying, oh, don't play with that person. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. So you describe oftentimes coaching as teaching and building this really reciprocal relationship with your athletes where you empower them to be part of the process in training. So what were the lessons learned that got you to that point in your coaching career? What made you say, hey, this is what works best in beach?
Well, I'm not going to say it works best. I just think there's different ways of doing it. And for me, when I played, obviously we didn't have a lot of coaches. So you had to learn everything on your own or learn it from more experienced players. So to me, that's really beach volleyball. The more knowledge you have, the more empowering it is as a player. That's why I think if we can just allow our players to learn everything we know, or as much as we can, minus the experience piece, obviously, they're empowered to be a part of the process as well.
Absolutely. So as we think about that highest level of competition, the coach takes less and less of a role in the actual competition part. So how do you build and prep the athletes for that when they're training?
Yeah, I mean, it goes along the lines of everything we just keep talking about, which is we preach mindfulness all the time. It's like you have to have a purpose of what you're doing, why you're here. What do you want to get better at today? And let's measure that at the end of the practice or at the end of the week. What have you done? And we don't have the ability to help them internationally. So they have to learn how to help themselves. And every day at practice, we're constantly asking them, to answer questions about what did you learn there? What are you thinking there? Hey, did you see this? Hey, did you see that? And then have them communicating with each other as much as possible about, those pieces as well.
Perfect. So last question maybe takes a little bit of a turn here. But you just commented when we got into this about the fact that we need more people playing beach. Beach is not only a great path, but I think oftentimes historically we haven't built a pipeline necessarily for beach collegiately. Now we're in a little bit of a different space with the females at least. But what would you like to see our coaches who get to work with youth athletes do to keep them in the sport?
I think when we get them in, we do tend to keep them, because they really enjoy the sport. They have a passion for it and it keeps them going. I don't know the answer to the question, but how do we get them initially involved? The women, obviously there's a pathway. NCAA provides a massive opportunity and it's huge, and it's been integral in changing, like when these girls are coming out of college, how much better prepared they are for the professional level. Like we have girls who are just, boom, they're going. To me, it's more on the guy side. It's like, how do we get them away from basketball and football and all those other ones that are, they're going to get paid a lot more money if they go pro, but it's like a low percentage that they're going to make it. So to me, how do we get them in early? Outside of people that are involved in the sport who have kids that get brought in, that's the only way it seems to be happening now. It's just not a big sell on the guy's side. So I don't know. I mean, if anybody out there has a good idea, by all means, let us know. I'm sure John's going to do a great job. He sees the problem and he's going to probably fix it real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we wrap this up, any last final pieces of advice that you might have for coaches who are working with their beach athletes when it comes to empowering the athletes or helping them make a transition from indoor into beach?
Yeah, I mean, the young ones, I think just make sure they're having fun. That's the key. Teach them things that want them to come back and learn more, and again, I'm a big believer in don't tell people what to do. Don't tell your athletes what to do. Ask them to do things, ask them to try this, and get their feedback. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Why? Because I learn every day from my players. If I ask them to do something and they don't understand it, I'll be like, well, explain it to me, and then, I'll phrase it this way, or we'll try to do it this way, So as much as you're teaching, I think you should also be a learner as well.
Oh, perfect. Well, thanks for joining us today, Scott.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.